Everybody look right. Someone in the diner, someone in the spotlight. I just can't wait to be king. Oh, everyone's going off about Northwest. If you live under a rock or have a life, Northwest is the child of Kanye and Kim Kardashian. Don't worry, I don't have a life either because I know who she is. I think she's the eldest kid of theirs. I think they've got a few. Anyway, she's made headlines this week for being a nepo baby. If you don't know what a nepo baby is, it's a nepotism baby, the child of two famous people. And nepotism is not looked at happily. If you're a nepo baby, you have a lot of privilege in life. Things are handed to you. I've said this before, I love the Beckhams. A lot of people didn't realise just how great the Beckhams were until David Beckham's documentary, and you could see. I saw it years earlier, how good they were as parents. They just, really great parents. They made their kids get jobs. As soon as they were old enough, legally, too. They made them be waiters and stuff and they had to wait on really snooty people. So, people who were in the industry that they may one day think that they can just step into, because if you have a lot of money and you're raising children, but you come from nothing where you've had to struggle, how do you reconcile that? Oh, do we give them everything that we never had? No, we make them understand the value of everything. Just because you have money, you don't have to show that you have money. It's nice to live comfortably. But I think, honestly, I've had money and I've not had money. And I reckon the secret to happiness, as far as money goes, is having a roof over your head and being able to pay a bill. And if something goes wrong, having the money. And that's why we're so incredibly lucky to live in a country where we have Medicare. We can be taken care of in a public system. But to be able to not have to worry, do I have enough money in my account to pay that bill that's just come in? That's happiness. I honestly believe you do not need more money than that. And money to go on a holiday would be lovely, but you can save up for that. It's a lovely feeling to have to save and to spend your money on something that you've worked really hard for. It's lovely. When you're just given things, there's no value. You don't care. You wreck that property. Material means nothing. It doesn't matter if it breaks. You haven't worked hard to get it. So anyway, back to Northwest. She just did a performance that was celebrating The Lion King and its legacy at the Hollywood Bowl. Yep, okay, great. It was filmed for a release on Disney+. It features performances by artists who worked on various adaptations over the years. And then there was this particular performance by North singing I Just Can't Wait to Be King. She was surrounded by professional Broadway artists. Here's a little listen. Okay, stop that now. Stop. We don't need to listen to any more of that. It was a pretty mediocre performance, but this is something that I'd like to say about, a lot of people are saying, oh, the kids who auditioned for that who really sing and blah, 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 right? This is all I've got to say about that. I'm quoting this from TikTok from Guided Inspiration, who I just adore. If you don't already follow her, she is just amazing. She reads faces and body language. She's absolutely incredible. Not like in a spiritual way, in a, studied way, she's educated and all that stuff. Anyway, she had something really good to say, and I'm just going to basically, because it's exactly what I think. The fact that Northwest was the perfect casting for this song, she says, consider for a moment that the song is about the entitlement, the hubris, and nepotism. It's all right there in the lyrics. I'm brushing up on looking down. Everybody look left. Everybody look right. Everywhere you look, standing in the spotlight. This is quite literally the quiet part said out loud. Simba's character is headstrong, unprepared, unskilled, and adventurous, experiencing the excitement that comes with discovery of birthright privilege. Also, we're used to hearing the song sung with the soulful intensity of, a child who is trying to rescue their family from their current circumstances. But this is what the song actually should sound like if sung by someone who had nothing to lose and truly nothing to gain. We're all Sasu. He sings the bit in the song, this child is getting wildly out of wing. If there was a monarchy, we are headed. Count me out. But what remains true is she just can't wait to be king. And who do you think is going to be the king in about 10 years' time? That kid. So having her do it is quite poignant, don't you think? Simba shouldn't have been really able to sing it with any kind of confidence. Birthright privilege people, nepotism people, other people working their asses off to get nowhere. That's the world we live in. How about a useless fact? Also, I watched on the weekend Back to Black, the Amy Winehouse biopic. Dreadful. Abominable. My God, I shouldn't have watched it just before I went to sleep because I couldn't sleep properly without just seeing this incredibly bad performance of this incredibly bad life. They've done absolutely nothing to cover how amazing she was. Nothing. They didn't show her coming from a family full of jazz musicians. They didn't show her going to music school, acting school. They did show a bit of her writing music, but they just showed her falling in love with a complete loser and ruining her life and not caring enough about anything but him. Enough to lose her life. Just, far out. It was just so incredibly heartbreaking. Heartbreaking that happened to such a talent. And she was her own worst enemy. That's the saddest part, is when you get in your own way. And women do it. How do we get that involved, that in love with someone, another human, that everything else in our life falls to the wayside? And despite that, she went on to win Grammys and become one of the world's biggest. And because of him, she wrote some amazing music. But she would have anyway. The fact that she, started using because of him. Anyway, watch it if you will. Watch it at your own peril. That's what I say. Or just go and listen to her music and read some really great biographies about her and, how good she really was. Okay, to give the cold shoulder. The first recorded use of this phrase dates back to the early 1800s. It refers to an old custom of giving an unwelcome guest a cold piece of meat from the shoulder of mutton, pork, or beef chop, as opposed to a welcome guest receiving a warm serving. This was a polite way to communicate, you may leave now. I don't know if that's true. Maybe it is. Who are we to know? At the end of the day, who are we to know? I guess we could know. All right, I like this next one. I'm going to give you an added extra, because why not? To butter someone up. Sounds sexual to me. Is it? Maybe. Here we go. This was a customary religious act in ancient India, the devout would throw butter balls at the statues of their gods to seek favour and forgiveness. Is it true? I don't know. Who knows at the end of the day? Well, as people do. People. That's it. Anyway, here's Wonderwall.
Today's gonna be the day that they're gonna throw it back to you. And by now you should have somehow realized what you gotta do.
You better put it in.